Here's another look at those incredible temperatures. You'll see topping out at 118 degrees in Phoenix, Arizona. The city broke a 17-year record with that temperature, with yesterday going down as the state's hottest day on record. Joining us now is someone who knows it all too well, Representative David Schweikert of Arizona, to talk about that heat bearing down on his home district. Congressman, I hear you're in Scottsdale right now. I hope you and your family are doing okay out there as you battle this heat wave.
Look, it's part of living in the desert. And in some ways, we're paying the price of an amazingly cool May and June. Because of that, the earth didn't heat up. We didn't get the monsoons were delayed. They're finally starting to show up. So the dear Lord's evaporative cooler is basically starting to boil over the mountains right now.
Yeah, and I lived in the greater Phoenix area for close to 8 years. I remember the heat, but everything that I'm hearing from my friends that live down there is that this is not like anything that they remember in recent history, recent memory. What exactly are officials doing to help those people out that are there?
Look, it's been a long streak, and in some ways we're paying the price of a fairly cool spring. But many of these temperatures are not new. I mean, remember, we actually had a day, I think in 1990, where we hit 120, 122. What's also happened to the Phoenix area, though, is we've developed what's called a heat dome. If you have hundreds of thousands of air conditioners running, lots and lots of concrete regenerating heat, there's no question, at least for the urban planners, it's time to start thinking about ways to dump the heat from those air conditioning units into the swimming pool, reflective surfaces that don't regenerate the same type of heat. At least we're finally starting to also have some success in certain urban areas with the number of trees we're starting to put up. So we're at a point now where at least we're starting to take the heat very seriously and how to deal with the heat island, which Phoenix has become.
Yeah, we've talked about the impact it has on the people themselves. Obviously, we know the impact it has on the firefighters who are out there trying to battle those fires that come. Let's talk about the actual economic impact, the businesses who are suffering. Tell me a little bit about how they're faring right now and what strategies they're implementing.
Look, growing up out here, there was a world where in June and July, businesses in Scottsdale just shut down. There was only two types of people in Phoenix, those that had to stay for the summer and those that don't. And what you're actually seeing, though, is if you're a movie theater, if you're an ice rink, bowling alley, those sorts of things actually have a lot of inbound folks because it's air conditioning. If you're an outdoor shopping center, you're not particularly popular right now. It's just the nature of human beings living in the desert.
Let's talk about this letter from Governor Hobbs. She suggested meeting with utility companies to actually plan for future heat waves. We know that this is going to be a thing that we see consistently every year. So do you think a roundtable like that could be helpful when you bring all of these heads to the same table and talk over solutions?
Yeah, some of this has already been done in previous years with Governor Ducey. The two major utilities, particularly for the Phoenix area, do have a policy of not turning power off during the summer months, making sure that even if you're having trouble paying your bills, you're able to still have your air conditioning running. And Arizona State University has actually done some terrific sort of urban planning policy on surfaces and dumping heat from air conditioners into your water heater and all sorts of things. It's finally time to stop talking about it, though, from these city officials and start to actually build a heat mitigation plan. When you put a few million people into one county, you do change the environment.
Arizona State University, #1 for innovation. Thank you very much, Representative Schweikert. Your time was much appreciated. I hope cooler days are ahead.
Thank you for having me.
Thank you for watching. Go to newsnationnow.com to find News Nation on your television provider. And don't forget to click the red subscribe button below to get more of News Nation's fact-driven, unbiased coverage.